Hi, it's Dave Robison from PlantCoverCrops.com. Last week of October in Waupaca County, Wisconsin, which is kind of between Stevens Point and Green Bay. So we're up fairly far north here in the state and looking at cover crop test plot. We've been looking at some other videos of different mixes that are out here in this plot. About 10 days ago we had root pit digs where we were looking at rooting depth and also the types of roots and also how many nodules are on our legumes and so forth. What we have here in this frame is we're going to be looking at three different things. Number one, here to the left we've got some radishes that are by themselves. These are the pile driver radishes, very popular up in this region. You can see no heading on this. This was planted in in early September of this year. Of course, we would not expect to see any heading on this, but that's just radish by itself, and that's a nice cover crop, but it's missing some other elements that we've talked about earlier. One of those elements that we can utilize, or varieties, species we can use with the radishes, is annual ryegrass. And annual ryegrass is really more popular into the little south of here, even onto the Illinois-Wisconsin border. There's a fair amount of this being utilized. Up this far north, not typically. Typically, annual ryegrass does not survive the winter up here, although some of it certainly can, depending on the season and what kind of winter we have. Last year there was some that survived because there was so much snow cover, but this is an exceptionally winter hardy annual ryegrass called winter hawk that is again becoming quite popular up in this region. And then we come over into a mixture of the annual ryegrass with the radish, and we also include in here Crimson Clover. And this mixture has been popular over a very broad area of the country, and it's also popular up here as well. And it's one that really has done quite well. Again, you might not see any of this that'll survive the winter, but our idea here is produce some nitrogen, scavenge significant amount of nitrogen, build earthworm populations, and again get through that compaction zone. So if it does not survive the winter, we're still getting a significant amount of growth to be able to get nice deep roots, fibrous roots, a significant amount of earthworm activity going on already, and again we're able to get that from this mix, whether it survives the winter or not. And of course our idea here is, you know, if you don't want it to survive, it probably will, meaning the annual ryegrass and the crimson clover. If you do want it to survive, it probably won't. Just kind of the Murphy's Law of cover crops. But nevertheless, we're using the most winter hardy products that are on the market, and this winter hawk annual ryegrass being one of those, and the crimson clover, some years very winter hardy here and some years not. Again, Dave Robison, PlantCoverCrops.com, Waupaca County, Wisconsin, last week of October 2014.